Dear friends, 7:31, just coming to LDN, so let's see what we can do. Mad movement on gold this morning, upon market open, and I was just putting into perspective some of the things that we went over last week when, regarding technical framework on the weekly, which is super important. So as mentioned, and you can go check the last video, last two videos have a lot of importance. One second. Yeah, a lot of importance, guys. So what we're looking here, I did mention one, two, bringing this across. So we have framework, we have some major origins that have been tapped into, so to speak. We have, take this one away. So we're still within, we're still within the initial area of volume. Okay, still within. So we tapped through the barrier, the lower barrier, and we've came into this segment. So 1 to 2, and again, go back on the last video and you can see at one point where the head of the bear run, so to speak, of last week, downward phase, was actually through here. But I did mention potentially we could close back above, because we've seen this before. So 2009.4, massive area as well. Even this week we spiked into the low and then we came all the way back up, and that's a weekly basis. We have to look at 2031. Definitely 2031. However, if we can look at the daily for a second, then we'll get into the micro. Here, the amenities of the shredded volume came back above, spike below the 50. Okay, closed above, spiked back into the 50, came back above. What I was looking at earlier on, and these are just, I'm just throwing it out there for a second because nothing is really reliable on the table right now. This low, can you see this one? This daily low. So what we're seeing here is this initial daily low, Monday the 5th of February, we spiked into that, we'll close back above, back below. Then the framework today was spiked above, we're currently spiking above. So we need to understand what's happening here. Three pushes to the high. Then we also have Tuesday the 6th of February, which is in need right now. Going into, this is where it gets interesting, guys, because I'll be very careful on longs here. I would personally start to suggest shorts looking at this. Sorry, this mouse is a little bit all over the place. I might need to replace it. It's a gaming mouse. It's not really too effective for the chart. Okay, see this? Massive area of redness. We don't really need to go into this low. We can see 1, 2, and the volume coincided. So I would state that we do have a few confluences lining up for a potential short trade. I would also go in with, just throwing this out there, this would have to have like a 60 pip stop. That'd be target 1. And then going in here would be, I'll say target 2 there, 370s. That's what I'm going to go out with, and that is what I'm going to put together. Then we'll get to town in a second. I'm just taking my time today. Relax, back in the gym every day, something I missed because I couldn't work out properly for some time. And I got a new little routine, which is an absolute game changer for stability. I missed it. I was going a bit nuts because I couldn't train. It's something that I've always done, especially in the last 2 years. It was a bit upsetting for the overall mental health and also the physical and also balance and emotions. Hybrid call, sell. put that out there real quick. And yeah, I'll just be very careful. See here on the, let's have a look at 30 mins, 26 mins, Asia, London, just tapped Asia, just, you know, exceeded by a pip or so. And then yeah, I feel could be in for some grave news, grave danger. But everything that we put together last week is more or less come into action, come into play, come into place. And beautiful, it's just more or less to tee there analytically on the weekly. So we just have to watch what this daily does. GBP USD, I will say, let me just load this up, just because the market might start to move pretty fast right now. I'm going to put this out there publicly as well, if I can. Actually, no, I should put a video out there. They don't deserve that. Now, weekly, what we went through last week, and because GU is, well, it's not new to me, but I thought, you know, I would spice things up a little bit for all of you guys. I more or less put the paper on here in a new manner, okay, and we sketched this out from the get-go. So we had a few areas, and again, if you haven't seen this, go check the last video. It's on the overviews, because it's quite important. So we went through the top end, 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, 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 blah. And then we also had, very important, the weekly high and then the weekly low. So what we've seen and came through was 1, 2 across suggestion now, 1.2571, 1, 2 times, and we closed back above that. So similarities to the gold. And now we've came back into the high. We need to know and understand what we're actually doing here. So main portion of clarity, a high-end portion of clarity that we need to just fire into the table is this. So that should be there, sorry. That should be there on the daily high, daily low. So actually, the consistency here is this. We've come back through step 1, step 2. Maybe we can roll around again, but it's also at the same time 1, 2, 2, 0.1 volume, 0.2 volume, bringing this across. I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Okay, we're stuck, a bit placid there, and then also there's not too much really we can take into major consideration on this daily, because it's always a little bit of a mess on GU. But looking at this one for now, let me just delete all of this. This is just something I was playing around with. I don't know why it keeps doing that on here. It's not interacting with me properly. This is where it gets a little bit funny. So we've got a 90 first. 90 here. So on the 90, you can see it's spinning ball. 1, 2, bringing that across. Pushed up again. 1 and 2. There's a bit of framework here we can go back and forth on. So 1 to 2 there. Oops, sorry. A few things. And what we're going to do, I'm going to just remap all of this, because it's not. Well, this is consistent, but here right now, can you see this? What we can see and suggest is that GU is going to be counterproductive, and we're also looking at potential shorts here too. I would state that Asia can be taken, New York can be reached. I would say mid New York. I would say 2570. So yeah, that's that in a nutshell. So just be careful, keep your eyes out, and then we can go from there.